Welcome back. You're watching The Money Show, and we've got a great segment lined up for you. It's Wheels Wednesday, and as you probably know already, this is where we talk about the hottest cars or bikes, and today we're talking about cars in the market. And we're focusing on probably the most competitive segment and sub-segment of the Indian car market, the SUV space, and within that, the mid-size SUV space. It gives me pleasure to welcome Renuka Kirpalani, who is executive editor video content at Autocar India. Thank you so much, Renuka, for taking the time. First, let's talk about the segment. Exciting, still exciting. It's been years and it continues to dominate the space.
It definitely is. I think everybody wants a share of this pie, and almost all manufacturers are vying to be in this segment. It's hotting up and definitely making the choice. The consumers actually spoil for choice really in this segment, and it can get pretty confusing. So yeah, most of the questions I have these days are on the mid-size SUV segment.
Absolutely. Let's talk about some options here, and I think a lot of people are very interested to know what you think is the best pick. So let's break this up, because I think a lot of people look for different things when they're going in for this. Assume that somebody is looking for a more or less a city drive and not looking to go off-road as some SUVs are meant to do. Of course, the mid-size SUV space anyway is not really built for that rugged off-road trip. But if you're talking about a primarily city-driven car, which one would be the best pick and why?
Well, a lot of them. I mean, for city drive, very convenient, very easy are the automatics. You know, any one of them that has an automatic variant, and I think most of them do nowadays. So, you know, those are easy. You have the Kushaq and the Taygun that have also just come in, the Skoda Kushaq, the Volkswagen Taygun. Nice compact sizes, easy to, you know, maneuver around in city, very agile. And they, you know, they offer you the 1 liter automatic variants as well, which is, you know, easy and convenient for city use. But saying that, you know, everybody has a different requirement. While one may want to use it in the city, the others may want to also carry their families and others around. So then you need the bigger ones, you know, like the MG Hector or the upcoming XUV700 that, you know, offer you more space and are much bigger in size. That's there. Saying that, you also have like the Creta and the Kia Seltos over there. And, you know, if you like, you know, very premium interiors, you want a nice feel on the inside of your car, then really it's very hard to beat the Kia Seltos. That's a very well-rounded package. In fact, it's been our pick in most of our battles, you know, throughout the comparisons that we've done, because it just kind of, you know, lifts everything a level above. But it's got great competition in the form of the XUV700 now, I think.
You know, a car that has ruled the roost for a long time, perhaps before the Kia Seltos came in, and Kia came in with its range of products very targeted to take on the Indian market, was the Hyundai Creta. Why do you think it's fallen off the ruling spot, if you can call it that?
The Creta hasn't really fallen off.
And how do you rate the latest offering that they have?
No, the new Creta sort of had a divided opinion on its styling, but it took a little while for people to get used to it. But it definitely hasn't fallen off the spot. It still is a very popular car, and you know, the back seat is a very comfortable place to be in the Hyundai Creta. So I don't think it's fallen off the top spot. I just think that there's been so much more competition coming into its space. It's not easy for anyone to kind of rule the roost as strongly as they did before. There's, you know, loads of options, and that's what's made it tough for the Creta.
So XUV700 is clearly something that a lot of people are kicked with, right? They're looking forward to this car with bated breath. We've kind of spoken about it in the past, but what specifically makes it stand out? And I assume that this is the best pick according to you in the mid-size SUV space.
Well, definitely, I think it gives you a lot of bang for your buck, lot of value, because you're getting a big size car as low as you know, 12 or 13 lakh, which is really quite exceptional. It's kind of come into the smaller SUV segment and taken up, you know, that space as well. So I think the XUV700 is really a great offering. It's giving you space, it's giving you comfort, it's giving you a host of features, it's giving you really the segment leading powerful engines. So what more is there to ask for? You pretty much got it all packed, and you can get an all-wheel drive. So should you want to, do a little bit of more off-roading, you've got an all-wheel drive version of it as well. So kind of really ticks off all the boxes that need to be ticked. Very well-rounded package, and then it's got great pricing as well. So there's one for pretty much everyone, different options of engines and gearboxes. And I think that's why the XUV700 is really so hot, and which is why you saw, pretty much 50,000 bookings in the first 2 days. So they've sold out a year's worth of production in just 2 days.
That brings me to the next question, availability, right? Renuka, that's the biggest question I think a lot of car buyers are contending with, based on what is available now, though. And
I think in this segment,
clearly the XUV, you're going to have to wait for a while. What do you have? Yeah.
Yeah, I think in this segment, almost everywhere you're going to have a wait. Yes. I don't think anybody's delivering them off the shelves, whether you talk of Volkswagen, whether you talk of Skoda, whether you talk of Mahindra and Mahindra, whether you talk of Kia, Hyundai, they've all got waiting lists, and it is the problem across the industry. It's not specific to one manufacturer, and that's why you're seeing this. And these are the most popular cars these days. This seems to be the hottest segment. It seems to be where everyone, consumers and manufacturers are kind of flocking to. So I think that's why you see the most amount of waitings, especially in this segment. And you have to be ready to wait. I mean, unless, it's anywhere between a month and 6 or 7 months. Sometimes it just goes up to being a very, very long wait. I get a lot of mails from consumers who are very frustrated saying, I booked it and the dealer keeps saying this and that. But, these are semiconductor shortages are across the board, and no one can kind of help it.
Absolutely. But I think, you've given our viewers something to think about, certainly, when they go out shopping this festive season. Maybe they'll not get their dream car in the next few weeks, but certainly you would have to wait for something like this. Renuka, thank you so much for taking the time. And
yeah, Alex, most
always
people
a pleasure
want the car during the festive season, and that's going to be a tough one this time around. But thanks for having me, as always.
Absolutely. All right, guys, so that was the clincher on the mid-size SUV space. We're certainly going to have a lot more chats about auto in the near future, so watch out for that. On this particular edition of The Money Show, though, we're taking a short break, but more on the other side, so do stay tuned.